This really fun lesson, the hot dog on a cliff, the hot dog house on a cliff. It's going to be inspired by one of my all-time hero illustrators, Dr. Seuss. I know you've heard Dr. Seuss's name 1,000 times in these video tutorials. Now look at the very top of my paper. Look how long this paper is. Want to pull back a little bit so we can see the edges? Look at, okay, right there's good. Look at, I'm going to use this giant long piece of paper. Look how long it is, because I want to draw a really tall picture. I'm going to draw the hot dog on a house with a bunch of cliffs below it. Go ahead and zoom in. Great, keep coming in there. Right there, good. So what I'll do is we'll start with this hot dog hut, the hot dog house that we did before. Middle line's longer, that's placement. Now remember, always keep it in mind the cube, the box, right? Remember this line right here and this line right here, northeast and northwest. We're going to use those lines a lot, right? Watch this. Of course, you got to remember, it's called the drawing compass. You can print that up right off the website. Now, we're going to go ahead and draw this hot dog house very quickly. We did this before. Go on to up to the right, all the way up. Turn to the left. See this line right here? Follow that guideline up to the left. This is going to be a real fun advanced one. And you know, did you hear that train in the background? They're bringing all the hot dog supplies to the hot dog house on the cliff, and I'll show you how the supplies get there in just a second. All right, see all these lines line up. We're going to make the tall roof coming up here, just like we did before. But I'll add a few little variations here. I'll slant this down. It overhangs. I like that overhang. Of course, right away, I love to put a shadow. Whenever I do an overhang, I love that nook and cranny shadow. Now, right down here, put a dot, a guide point. We're going to draw the foreshortened square, following these guidelines. Look, I'm going to go out past this line right here. And then, following the guideline right here, I'm going to go out past this line that you've already drawn, not to the corner. I'm going to go behind the corner, following this guideline here. I'll go ahead and darken in my outside line so you can see a little bit better. Now, watch this. Not to the corner, go behind the corner. Okay, this will be our first layer. All right, and we'll put a window here. Put these vertical lines. Okay, there's a little window. I'm going to do kind of light because I have his arm reaching out here in just a second. Then following this guideline, and there's your hot dog window. And on this one, I'm even going to put another window over here. I'll put two windows. Okay, because this will be a good practice. If the window's on the right side, look at this, the thickness will be on the right side. I'm doing it lightly first because I'm going to draw his arm sticking out. See, there's that guideline matching this line right here. There's that guideline. And then I'll draw this window over here, following the line you've drawn before. This line going up in direction northwest. Now the window's on the left side over here, so the thickness then would be on the left side, and that line would continue from that same angle here. See that? Isn't that fun? Okay, we'll add the extras in just a moment. But now down here, watch what I'm going to do down here. I'm going to put this cliff. Okay, so I'll go ahead and draw just one little layer here. This is what holds it onto the cliff base. And now I'm going to go ahead and pull back just a bit so we can see more of this. Right there. Now watch what I'm going to do. Around this base, oh, wait. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going nuts. Watch this. I'm going to take this hot dog stand. And I'm just thinking here, how do I want to do this? Oh, okay, I'm going crazy. I'm going to come in down here. I was going to do something totally different, but I just changed my mind. This is the creative process. All right, now watch this. I'm going to tell you what. Let's slant this in. Let's slant it and let's have it get smaller and smaller. Look, it'll be up on this pedestal. Okay, it's getting smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller. And then watch this. This post. This is going to be fun. Look at this post is going to come out of this hole. Look at the hot dog house. We have to make this hole big enough. See, we have to make it big enough so that the whole hot dog house can expand out of it. All right. So I'm just sketching this in very lightly. All right. So we're going to put this. This is going to be funny. This hot dog house comes up out of the cliff. All right, so I put these dots, and then I have that blocking of that foreshortened circle. We'll erase that. We'll clean it up in just a second. But way out here, put your guide points over here, and then very lightly, let's sketch in that'll be the base of the crater, okay? Or the base of the cliff. Go ahead and pull back just a bit so I can see the detail. Keep going way back, keep going right there. Now, see what I'm doing? I'm going to very lightly sketch in this cliff. We're going crazy. I was just going to draw a simple house with a cliff, but now it looks like I'm going to draw this giant. Now this cliff will be all jaggedy in a second here. It comes down here. Let's do another layer. Watch this. I'll have it come down to very light. We're just blocking it in, okay? And then out here, way out here, put a guide point. Way out here, way out over here, put a guide point. We'll put another foreshortened circle, okay? Behind here, coming out around to the front, very lightly. We're just blocking this in, and then you can erase this later on, all right? We're just very lightly sketching it. And then down here, I'm going to have this taper in. Look how tall this drawing is going to be. It's the tallest drawing I've ever worked on the video tutorials. And it's going to very lightly coming down here. We're just sketching light, light, light. Now down at the bottom, watch this. I'm going to expand these out down here, and we'll draw some kind of a root system very lightly. We'll draw a bunch of roots down here. In fact, we can sketch that in just a little bit. So look at how we started here. Okay, there's our house. We started there. We keep blocking. There's going to be our second layer and our third layer, and then at the very bottom down here, why don't you zoom in at the bottom for a second? About right there's good. Let's draw some really make this almost like a tree root or a cliff root. Watch this. I'm going to come down here. I'm now thinking again of this box. Remember the box? The angles we're talking about? Look at this angle right here. This angle in the southwest and southeast. These two. We're going to use those right now, because I'm going to draw one tree root coming down here, and the canyon, kind of a cliff edge. If you walk through canyons, you'll see sometimes the rainy roads, these really neat ridges. This is the same thing. Could be ridges or roots. It's totally up to you. I'm going to put another. This one kind of comes down here in this direction, which is direction what? What direction is that? Direction southeast. And then back here, I'll do another one. This one. See how this one goes southeast? I'll make this one going uphill in that direction. That's going to be in northwest. Down here, maybe I'll put one more coming down in this direction in southeast, and then let's take this one up here and make it kind of going off up there into the northeast, okay? And then you can see a little peekaboo one back behind here, a little tiny peekaboo one coming up here, a little tiny, and maybe back here. See another little, see how it all spreads out. Now pull back and let's take a look at how that's taking shape. All right, now look at it. We all based this root, this cliff base on a contour, on a curving line. The whole thing is foreshortened, which it's all squished together. You don't want to spread it out too much, all right? That's your point of view, this illusion. All right, look at this. We made good progress. How are we doing on the minutes? And then I'm going to take this, and oh, you're doing great. Now watch this. What we'll do now is I'm going to go ahead and draw the texture of this roof. Now go ahead and zoom in, and we'll take the detail now. Now we're going to work on the detail. Right there's good. Let's draw the grass. Now watch this. This grass is going to be drooping. Now this is where the Dr. Seuss influence really comes in. I want to make sure that the droops are going vertical like the side of my page. I'm going to droop this grass too. So very lightly make sure that the grass is drooping and it's matching the side of your computer screen, or it's matching the side of your paper, your vertical, straight up and down. All right, now up here, I'm going to take the grass, I'm going to droop it. Okay, the books to look at for Dr. Seuss's that have this wonderful drooping grass, the Lorax, the Horton Hears a Who, Horton Hatches an Egg, has this wonderful grass drooping. You can zoom in a little bit so we can see the detail, right? There's good. And then I'll put some more little droopies here. Look at this. Very, very cool. And then coming down over here. Now inside here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll put some grass inside coming along here. And remember, you can clean up all these extra lines later on, all right? All right, now inside the canyon, let's make it real dark in there. Now remember, if you want to push pause, if I go too fast, just push pause or rewind it. You can push pause or rewind if anything. If I go too fast, or if you need a few more extra minutes just to finish the detail, I'm going to start adding some shading to the left side. I'm going to keep the sun up here to the right. We start at the top. Keep this coming from up here. So I'll go ahead and I'll start shading the side over here. All right, then I'm going to shade right here. Take your pencil and shade it. Always opposite the light source, okay? Now keeping in mind the bottom nooks and crannies right here, okay? Now if you want to smooth out, that's fine. You're not going to blend it because these are not blended shapes. These are solid shapes, all right? And then get a fresh pencil here because I want to use the side of my pencil to shade this right here. I'm going to shade that. I'm going to shade that. Go and pull out a little bit so we can see what I'm doing here. Shade the left side all the way down. There you go. Now make sure that you put an undershadow under each of these areas. A little undershadow. And, oh, got to put another undershadow. Get all those undershadows in here. All right, now we're working on this canyon over here, a little back behind shadow behind there. Then take your pencil. Now I turn it sideways if you want. I'm going to try to put a nice nook and cranny shadow under each of these, and then shade the side. I'm going to use a little chunk of my pencil eraser here to erase that, so you get more of an area. All right, there's coming up on our first layer. Now this one for sure is going to be blended. So I use my handy paper stomp here. Get it really dark under each of these drooping grass textured spots, okay? You could put windows, you could put a spiral staircase down from here. I want to blend this shading here. Now this is just smoothed out. It's not from dark to light. Now this down here is blended from dark to light. All right, so there's our hot dog house. We're going to add some more detail in just a second. Coming down to the next layer. And then I'll just do the same thing down here. We're going to draw the drooping grass. All these, look at this. I'm going to put all this drooping grass. Now what I'm going to do is I want you to take what you learned up here. Zoom in so we can see this detail real quick right here. I want you to take your pencils and get really dark. Right there is good. Get it really, really dark. Real dark under there. See that? Get that undershadow really dark, and then blend it. Then take your pencil or your paper stump or your finger. Your finger works just good. And blend, 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 blend. Okay? Now I'm going to have you finish this down here and move on down. Look at this. And then you're going to take your pencil and get lots of... Where's my eraser chunk here? I'm going to put lots of extra shading in all these nooks and crannies, okay? Then you blend it. I'm going to have you finish the shadow. This is a good starting point for you. Well, I'm just curious to see what kind of details. Okay, pull out just a bit. Pull out so we can see this. Go ahead and zoom all the way. Keep going out here. There you go. Now, what are we going to do as far as how are they going to, people down here, going to get their hot dogs? Well, let's see here. I'm going to put, let's put a Dr. Seuss inspired kind of contraption up here. Let's put a little post with a ring on it. Up here, a foreshortened ring. Dr. Seuss draws lots of pulleys and ropes and gadgets. And coming out of here, okay, the hot dogs come right out of this window here, very lightly. Someone puts them on a bucket and they come through here, and then they drop. This is how the bucket raises right here. There's a bucket, a line, drops down, and then this is you have to put your money into the bucket. Okay, so this is how you get your hot dogs. The best hot dogs in all of the land, right here. So they're worth the effort. The bucket's kind of wiggling. Go ahead and zoom in so you can see the bucket there. I just drew a foreshortened circle and stop right there. See, this is very inspired by the Lorax. Remember how the Lorax, the once had to lower a bucket down? You had to throw in your pennies and your snail shell into there, and then he would tell the tale. Then up here, okay, darken it inside there and shade the side. All right, this is funny. You can have someone's waving. Have someone's arm in here saying, okay, here comes your hot dog. And the hot dog's in the bucket down here. Look at it's a jumbo hot dog right there. See, you paid 10 cents for it. All right, and then you can draw yourself getting ready to capture it. Well, I'm out of time here. Go ahead and pull out. We'll take right there's good. We'll take one shot of it. Isn't that nice? I want you to finish the roots, finish the shading down on this one. Maybe put windows and doors. All right, and there's your little more advanced house, advanced hot dog house on a cliff. Go ahead and zoom in. Let's get a good final shot. Push in just right there. And I'll freeze that. That's a good shot right there. You guys did great. I'll see you on the next lesson.